Why people think Drake killed XXXTentacion. 20-year-old rapper XXXTentacion was shot dead in his car on June 18, 2018 in Deerfield Beach, Florida. According to the Broward County Sheriff's Department, the rapper was leaving a motorsports business around 4 p.m. on Monday when two armed suspects, one who TMZ reported wore a red mask at the time of the shooting, approached his car, stole his Louis Vuitton bag, and shot him. At this time, police have no official suspects. However, fans have taken to Twitter to launch investigations of their own. One of the most controversial conspiracy theories about XXXTentacion's death is that Drake had XXXTentacion killed. But before we dive deeper into this theory, I want you to take 1 second out of your precious time to leave me a like, then drop a comment in the comment section below telling me what issues on the internet you want to see me make videos about. Once you've done that, go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon right beside it so you get notified by YouTube when I, here on the 10X channel, drop your requested video. And now that I know that you liked, commented, subscribed, and turned on notifications, let's now dive deep into why the media and fans all around the world think Drake is responsible for the death of the young XXXTentacion. After the death of 20-year-old rapper XXXTentacion, there were plenty of mixed emotions rattling around Twitter. Some were sad that he was taken too soon, and some were totally indifferent to the fact that a guy who allegedly assaulted his pregnant girlfriend with a barbecue fork and openly bragged about almost beating a gay man to death was killed. Crazy world. But we were all left wondering, who did it? Now, there's an online conspiracy that Drake, the Champagne Papi himself, is behind it all. Let me break it down for you. The conspiracy is primarily based on Drake's hit, I'm Upset, and a few other things. As most conspiracy theories do, at the outset, this one sounds absolutely bonkers. However, it's born out of a true feud between Drake and XXXTentacion. XXX's career took off in 2017 when his single, Look at Me, gained traction on SoundCloud. In an interview, XXX said Drake was impressed with him and promised that he would contact XXX's manager within a few days, a promise that Drake allegedly never kept. However, within the same week, Drake performed a new song, KMT, that XXX fans alleged sounded alarmingly like XXX's Look at Me. However, in a 2017 interview, Drake told DJ Semtex that he didn't steal anything from XXX. I listened and I'm like, okay, I see where people could draw this comparison off of the first two lines, whether it be cadence or the rhyme pattern or whatever he explained. It's crazy that people think that after all this time, after all I've been through, that I'm that kind of person, to go out and take that and make it my own. XXXTentacion subsequently launched into a Twitter rant calling Drake out. Drake's career is almost over. He better start investing money in real estate because once it's all over, he really gonna see the fake love. I'm not the first nigga he bit, nor will I be the last. Drake, a pussy nigga. Money don't buy you respect. Now this pussy nigga trying to play it safe and play it innocent. But it's cool. We all know Hotline Bling was a bite off Cha-Cha. I'm not gonna say no names, but it's funny how one of my niggas hit me up saying Drake watched your interview and fucks with you. However, he soon after deleted the tweets and claimed he was hacked. We might as well disregard X's claim that Drake stole his flow, as there are many other rappers before X who have used similar flows. In July 2015, Lil Uzi Vert had a similar flow on his song Super Saiyan Trunks, which was released months before X's Look at Me first debuted in late 2015. In an interview with XX Mag, XXX addressed the feud with Drake in a calmer fashion. I'm aware of what Drake does as an artist, the rapper said, insinuating that Drake is guilty of using other artists' music. But if Drake is gonna take the flow, and I don't know if he legitimately did, but if that's the situation, at least reach out. And then if you wanna run off with the flow, then run off with the flow. But I'm going through a lot right now, so it would have been nice if before that happened to me, for Drake to have reached out to me personally. But by that time, it seemed the damage was done, and XXX was well aware. Though he reportedly apologized for coming after Drake like that, Drake's reign can't simply be ended. The self-proclaimed Six God has built an empire transcending internet generations, and at this point, the only person who can stop Drake is Drake. That's not to say he hasn't taken some L's along the way. The head of OVO has attested to that, but the height of his artistry is beyond the reach of petty squabbles. So when XXXTentacion first took issue with Drake over the use of his flow from Look at Me, it appeared to be a stab in the dark. Despite the song taking off, here was this relatively unknown SoundCloud rapper accusing the biggest artist in hip-hop of stealing his exact flow and using it for his song KMT featuring Gigs. As the story broke, X's claim appeared to be an astronomical reach, but upon further review, there's some credence behind the accusation that is hard to ignore. On the other hand, in this day and age of hip-hop, it's almost impossible to credit a single person with a single flow because this culture has become a jumbo melting pot. With X's internet influence and the ghost of Drake's writing past, the accusation took form and gained credibility amongst hip-hop fans. The majority simply didn't care, but some took to their socials and continued to press Drake, which gave X the green light to seek retribution. On a later episode of OVO Sound Radio, Drake denied copying X's hit song, but X took things further, calling Drake a bitch in an interview with Miami's 103 The Beat.
That's at the same tempo. It's not offbeat at all. And if you listen to my song and then you listen to the bruh song, like you get, we all.
He called Drake a culture vulture that's always stealing flows and ideas from up-and-coming artists. He also accused Drake of stealing his song A Hotline Bling from Gran, who had plans on doing a remix with Drake on his song Cha Cha. X also dissed Drake for not coming to his court hearing to put in a good word for him to the judge. That might have been too much expectation. What was X thinking? He was awaiting trial for an armed robbery committed as a part of a home invasion he was involved in long before his growing fame in the music industry. He was also arrested for battery and false imprisonment of his then-girlfriend. Considering all the allegations laid on him and evidence proving he committed most of the crimes he was accused of, it's funny how he expected Drake to put in a good word for him. As the saying goes, when you come at the king, you better not miss. And X's next moves had every intention of not missing, opting to cross the point of no return in an attempt to bring down the sixth god. X not only makes a pass at the woman whom Drake holds dearest, he does so publicly. To further the issue, he does so not just once, but proceeds to make several more vulgar statements towards Sandy Graham. Generally, in the world of hip-hop, there are not many rules when it comes to diss tracks directed at other rappers. However, that understanding is only granted to his own opponent when placed in a song. The SoundCloud rapper broke all the rules by going public with his disrespect and made things very personal by not only tweeting it, but videotaping his remarks for 17,000 viewers to see. At this point in X's career, it can be said that these remarks were a publicity stunt, as Look At Me was charting on the Billboard, and the young rapper had plans of putting out a mixtape which he released in May of 2017. In mid-April, Chicago's real rapper 600 Breezy decided to throw his name into the beef by coming out to say he asked Drake if he should get at X. Drake apparently gave his standard response when he doesn't want to talk about things, a shrug. A few days after that, X responds to 600 Breezy saying Breezy should shoot him when he sees him and that he could get Breezy knocked up in his hood. A few weeks later, 600 Breezy pulls up in X's neighborhood despite threats from X. It seemed 600 Breezy was prepared to show X he was a certified Chirac thug. Well, nothing apparently happened that day. The beef between Drake, X, and 600 Breezy seemed to cool off for a bit until Drake decides to make a mockery of X via X's IG after being knocked out on stage by Rob Stone. The rest of the year goes by, and there's not a single response from Drake in retaliation to X's disrespectful antics. Neither was there anything said by X regarding Drake. In January, X announced that he will be donating to the less privileged via his Helping Hands challenge. I will be going to a foster home and I'm going to be donating a bunch of clothes, a bunch of PS4s, and a few other stuff to the kids. I'm starting a movement called The Helping Hand, where you guys record yourselves doing good things for people and kind of spread that positive energy. Whoever makes the most donation gets to meet me and spend the day with me. We will go out to dinner, play video games, and maybe get a $1,000 reward, X said. Around that time, a snippet of a song featuring Drake and Trippie Redd was making rounds online. This song would later become Drake's God's Plan. In the video, we see Drake handing out things to people in need in Miami. He gave away about $1 million. Miami is where X is from, and fans assumed Drake got his idea for his God's Plan video from X's Helping Hand movement and decided to do his giveaway in Miami to fuel the beef between himself and X. He also went on his IG to say the following: "I'm not into challenges on IG. I find them annoying. But today, I'm going to challenge everyone to just go out and do something for someone. Anything, the smallest things, just to bring another human being some joy. And please tag me in it somehow so I can see all the love being spread." You don't have to play the song in the background or have some hashtag. This is not about streams and all other antics being used. Just go be kind in any way you can, and let's all watch the world be nice to each other, even if it's for 24 hours. Sounds very much like Drake was throwing a diss at X's helping hand movement, as some people believed X started the movement to create a positive persona for himself after all the criminal allegations made against him. It was also said to be a ploy to ensure X gets favor in the sight of the judges. X didn't seem to have a problem with what Drake did though, as he came out to applaud and appreciate all that Drake did for his city on his IG. However, in February of 2018, the internet receives a cryptic message from X claiming Drake has intentions of premeditated murder. X later clarified the post, stating he was in fact hacked, but this was the first spark in a wild conspiracy theory that ties Drake to the death of X. With their tumultuous relationship, the seeds had already been planted in the minds of several internet fans. It wasn't until May 26, 2018 that those seeds began to take root covertly in the release of Drake's third studio single, I'm Upset. On June 20th, 2018, the day X was gunned down in his car, the seeds of the idea had blossomed into a full-blown theory. Drake killed X. Of course, the theory is just that, a theory. There's no proof or evidence linking X's death to the multi-million-dollar rapper. But according to the internet, Drake's choice in lyrics are very questionable. On I'm Upset, Drake pens this verse which led X fans to the rapper's conclusion. You trying to check? This is real life. Niggas think we playing chess. So what's next? Jump up out of bed like I'm possessed. I go out on tour and I see I'm drinking less. End up getting loose and getting pictures from my ex. SMS XXX. That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Why you keep on shooting if you know that nigga dead? That's the only kind of shit that gets you some respect. Upon first glance, it appears the Toronto native is simply discussing some nude photos from a woman. According to theory, however, this is a cryptic code for X's murder. XXX is a nickname for XXXTentacion, and online theorists think the lyrics allude to Drake calling on someone to shoot him. The gunshot wounds that killed XXX were all reportedly to his torso, below the neck. Conspiracy theorists think this connects to the murder, as XXX was said to have died from multiple gunshot wounds. According to the theory, Drake knew XXX had info on him that Drake was desperate to keep secret by any means necessary. Afterward, about Drake's alleged son Adonis was released by Pusha T. XXX allegedly saw it as an opportunity to out him and pile on more dirt to ruin Drake's career. When X's body was found and identified, it was confirmed that the rapper was shot in the torso while in his vehicle. It's also notable that Drake ad-libbed "skrrr" the sound of a car taking off, which the gunman in X's death had done in order to flee the scene. One user on YouTube by the name Lil Gooey, amongst several others, posits that SMS stands for Send My Shooters. This has led many to believe that Drake hired the shooters to take out X on his behalf due to his fame, power, and status, and that doing so would not be beyond his means. I'm Upset wasn't the only clue off Drake's studio album, Scorpion, that backs this theory. On Mob Ties, the rapper dedicates the song to how he's got ties with criminal members. I fuck with the mob when I got ties, knock you off to pay their tithes. They want me gone but don't know why. It's too late for all the lovey-dovey shit, I'm your brother shit, and all the other shit. It's too late for all that, it's too late for all that. I'm your brother shit, all that other shit. It's too late for all that, it's too late for all that. Looking through, Drake claims it's too late for amendment as the point of no return was crossed. He also makes note of paying off shooters with Louis Vuitton bags, which was what witnesses claimed the shooter at X's scene of the crime had taken. Hey, sick of these niggas, sick of these niggas, hire some help, get rid of these niggas, sick of this shit, move to the Ritz, turned out the bitch, it is what it is, GLE cause a Lambo moving fast, S-Class, G-Class, lot of class, and a rocket and that bitch ain't got no tags, Louis bags in exchange for body bags. Lastly, remember that Drake had no response for an entire year after X publicly made several passes at his mother. These last bars in which Drake mentions his patients are chilling if you believe in this theory. Yeah, and they shook, please don't let them fool you, I don't care how they look. Heard all the talking, now it's quiet, now it's shush. 29 is coming, they on edge when I cook. Lead the league in scoring, man, but look at my assists. Yes, I be the future, but I like to reminisce. I don't forget a thing, I'm patient, it's a gift. Try to tell them they ain't gotta do it, they insist. Yeah, I can tell. I just gave him 2 for 42 mil like Chappelle. Standing over a coffin with a hammer and a nail. Heard you hit up so-and-so, that name don't ring a bell. No. Tied in with this verse, one can understand how some fans have come to think of Drake as the mind behind his murder as a way to cope with the passing of their favorite artist. But it's way too far-fetched to implicate Drake in this scheme, especially with no proof. The theory holds no weight and is simply speculation. Fans all over the world have come up with different motives as to why Drake would want to kill XXXTentacion. Let us share with you a few of the motives some fans stated and what investigations they have made. Okay, for all the people who think Drake is soft, yeah, he probably is, but he has murderous criminals around him. Baka, longtime security and friend, now his signed artist, went to jail for kidnapping and pimping. As soon as Baka get back on the road, on No Long Talk, Drake raps, "Just no man like Chubbs, he's a fixer if I ever got to fix things. Just no man like Fifth, he's a sick ass. You get tanned, he don't miss things. His friends are murderers and he doesn't hide this fact. He's actually proud of it." Fifth was killed in Toronto. People came up to him as he was going into his apartment building and shot him through the glass. When he says Chubbs is a fixer, he means paying for murder. Paying for murder is an important theme here. Don't forget it. All these people have criminal backgrounds that can be looked up and researched. So it's not cap, Drake really hangs around killers. But what's important is the fact that he raps about it so specifically. He wants you to know. He wants to prove that he's tough, that he's a gangster too. Drake has a pattern of trying to prove he's a gangster, and he has known connections to gangsters to help with this. It's a known fact that XXX did shit that crossed the line, and he has a pathology of going way too far when he's angry, posting pics of Drake's mom, etc. Drake is not a stranger to violence. Look at his past. He's beaten people near to death multiple times. So, and I'm upset when he says 50 grand on my head is disrespect. Can we say it is not likely that X would do something like this, especially if he was provoked? But what provoked him? Okay, so Drake and X's beef never died down. I believe most of it took place behind the scenes, but I know moments that have escaped into the public. For example, on DJ Akademiks' live stream with Trippie Redd and X, Drake was mentioned. It was in a context of Drake and X fighting over Trippie Redd and Drake winning, basically. This was sometime in 2017, and the beef started over a year before. This lets you know that X wasn't letting it go. They're both petty dudes, and X has been known to expose people's skeletons as he went on live on IG to say he had a secret about Drake. This is when he posted the IG story saying, "If anyone tries to kill me, it's at Champagne Poppy. I'm snitching," on a live video. X says Drake would kill him, specifically if he leaked the secret. That secret obviously was the baby that Drake has. I believe there was more to it than that. If X was able to get info about his son, he probably had a few more skeletons on Drake. Plus, on an account rumored to be owned by X, Drake's mom's STD situation was made fun of. Beyond this, they simply could have been on a phone call and X could have said something, or many things that was simply too far. Look at how far X went with Drake's mom. X has a pattern of going too far, and in private things, go further. Pusha T has said he has more Drake disses and that Adidon was just the beginning, so X could have gave Pusha some serious shit. Both X and Drake have been engaging in pettiness towards each other behind the scenes, and it got worse and worse. These petty actions might have prompted X to put 50K on Drake's head, which Drake took as disrespect and killed X for it. On I'm Upset, he mentions XXX right before he talked about doing a drive-by shooting. Alone, this info is not even circumstantial, but in the mix of all this, it is a key ingredient to the murder pie. Another part of this theory is the God Plans video. It's clear that he copied the idea from X. X was doing similar things for a long while before this. It was like an X thing to go do charity in the community. Still, glad Drake helped people, but it was clearly a petty move. And the God's Plan video was filmed in Broward, Miami, where X is from. This adds to the pathology of Drake being petty. Now, to finish off by showing Drake's fake goon personality. He thinks he's a gangster, and after this, he's kinda right. But a real mob boss wouldn't do this. It's just too far. Drake did this because he was trying to prove something. Look at the lyrics to I'm Upset. He talks about someone continuing to shoot at someone after they're dead. Drake probably has never seen a shooting, but he tries to seem like he's in the streets. Like, by criticizing a murderer's handiwork, he seems cooler than the murderer, I guess. But Drake is clearly obsessed with seeing himself as a gangster. His Fortnite username is the boy Dudas. Dudas is a famous Jamaican gangster, founder of the Shower Posse. They were called this because they would shower bullets, leaving 100+ shell casings at a crime scene. Drake is also connected to J Prince, who is known as a gang leader and has high-ranking connections in the BGF, a black prison gang. Also, when DJ Akademiks mentioned his phone convo with Drake, Drake mentioned going to a dark place. Being that Drake is very obviously insecure and trying to prove he's a gangster, all it would take is one disrespectful comment from X to take him into that dark place and pay for X's murder. The final nail in the coffin is on Look Alive when Drake says, "They won't be expecting shit when Capo comes to slide, cause I told them then that we put that shit behind us, but I lied." This does two things. It shows that Drake had still not gotten over his beef with X, and it makes it even more clear of Drake's fake mobster persona. Drake let the beef die down to quell suspicion, and once it was all clear, Drake paid the money and got X killed. But let's also look at Capo come to slide. A capo is a kind of co-captain in the mob. Basically, if the mob boss is the president, the capos are the governors. So, he's using mob terminology to refer to sending his criminal associates to do a hit. On Walk It Like I Talk It, he says, "We live like Sopranos." The Sopranos is a mob TV show. Maybe if the info was half of this, I would call it a coincidence. But this is not a coincidence. There's just so much more evidence out there that I will find. Look at a podcast interview of OVO members speaking about X. It's clear they hate this dude and want him dead. X literally said, "If anyone kills me, it's at Champagne Poppy. I'm snitching." R.I.P. X, one of the greatest artists. So sad it all started because Drake stole his flow. So many more fire collabs could have happened between them. Another fan named @LexiDeMorea on Twitter believes Drake had XXXTentacion killed by using rappers Kid and JoJo to do his dirty work for him. The theory begins with @LexiDeMorea's observation that rappers Soldier Kid and Soldier JoJo were the two men at the scene of the crime. She's not alone in thinking these two are ultimately responsible for shooting XXX, thanks to pretty convincing evidence, including a geotag that proves that they were in the area at the time of the shooting, as well as an Instagram photo of them in a car with a red mask. However, both rappers have maintained their innocence. I've been seeing a lot of comments, a lot of things going on saying I've had something to do with XXXTentacion's past. Kid said in an Instagram post, "I didn't even know who the man was." Likewise, JoJo insisted that he didn't have anything to do with the shooting either. "We out here doing us. XXX, we be claiming that," JoJo said. "We respect everybody, straight up." So who's the person and what was their possible intention for killing the young rapper, the Twitter user asked, claiming the hints about XXXTentacion's death are hidden in the lyrics of Drake's new single, "I'm Upset." And of getting loose and getting pictures from my ex, SMS XXX, the lyrics go, "That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck." Of course, the victim's stage name includes the letters XXX. However, so do the Instagram bios of both Soldier Kid and Soldier JoJo, which has led some fans to believe Drake hired them to kill XXXTentacion. Drake has not commented on XXXTentacion's death, and certainly not this fan conspiracy theory. While this theory is undoubtedly garbage and fake, it's still pretty crazy to connect the dots. If you enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and demolish that like button. Then, like I said earlier, tell me in the comments section below what celebrity or issues on the internet as a whole that you would want to see me make videos about here on the 10X channel. Finally, don't forget to smash that red subscribe button and hit the notification button so that you get notified when we drop a video on the topic you requested. With all that said, I'll see you in the next video. Let's go.